All right, hello and welcome to the 2023-24 99H Robotics Competition Grant Technical Assistance webinar. My name is Ashley Aris, and I work for the Michigan Department of Education in OSET, Office of Systems Evaluation and Technology, and I work with a lot of the grants within the office. Let's go over the agenda real quick for today. We're going to go over welcome and introductions of, I introduced myself, but we'll introduce the program providers. We'll review some resources. We'll do a grant overview. We'll go over the grant structure, and we'll do a Nexus application demo. And then we'll have time at the end for questions. And let's go ahead and introduce this year's robotics providers. We're going to go ahead and start with First Robotics.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, this is Gail Alpert. I am the president of First Robotics, and we run programs from pre-K all the way to high school. So if you're interested, let us know. Tammy, are you here?
I'm here. Hi, everyone. This is Tammy Damrath. I'm with First in Michigan, and I run the middle school First Tech Challenge program.
Angela, are you here? Cindy, I saw that you were here.
I am. I'm very sick, but I'm Cindy Nader. I run the Explore program here in Michigan and happy to participate today.
Heidi, are you here? Okay, we are complete.
Thank you, Gail. Let's move on to LTU RoboFest.
Hi, my name is Shannon Polonis. I work at Lawrence Technological University. We run the LTU RoboFest program. It's an autonomous program with small robotics kits for students in grades 4 through 12.
Thank you, Shannon. Let's move on to MATE.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Daniel Moffett. I'm the education specialist with the Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary in Alpena, Michigan. And in that role, I'm the Great Lakes Regional Coordinator for the MATE ROV competition. MATE is an underwater robotics competition that encourages participants to think of themselves as entrepreneurs as their teams become companies that design, build, and market their ROV products and services. The theme and underwater mission tasks change each year and are presented to the students in the form of an RFP. And the missions all take place at the bottom of the pool or test tank. In addition to the underwater missions, the companies create technical documents, marketing displays, and give oral engineering presentations in front of a panel of judges. MATE has 5 levels of competition from beginner to advanced. And we also support professional development workshops for teachers, including instructional materials that align with education standards and ROV starter kits. Our competition manuals are released in November, and registration opens in December. And the regional contests like ours take place in April and May, with the World Championships happening in June this year in Tennessee. There's over 40 regionals worldwide for MATE, including India, South Korea, and Egypt. And MATE's mission is to create a global community of learners who can think critically, solve problems, and work collaboratively to address societal challenges, and who can succeed in today's constantly evolving workplace. Thanks.
Thank you, Daniel. We'll move on to Corkmine.
Hello, my name is Philip, and can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
I am one of the newer programs. So SRL is really the recommended program for a school that's not already working with us. ERL and ORL are the other 2 programs, but at its core, SRL, if you are new looking, we do mini battle bots, robot to robot, full destructive, just like what you might see on TV, only smaller. At the core, SRL is teaching students to design using CAD. They're using marketing and branding, where they need to communicate their value, because at the end of it, the memories and the brand will be all that remain. They're of course doing the engineering. They're trying to problem solve their way through better strategies to survive the rounds. And all of this is being pulled off with the 3D printing. We are working in the plastics class. And while BattleBots may be intimidating for some, SRL is designed around what we would consider a superintendent checkmark safety space. So the kids are learning a lot about technology and responsibility.
Thank you, Philip. Let's go ahead and move on to the Rec Foundation.
I am Brandy Bollinger. I am the Senior Team Engagement Manager at the REC Foundation. So I cover Michigan, the Midwest, and New England.
And
Chris?
I'm Chris Stewart. I'm the Event Engagement Manager for the REC Foundation. I cover Michigan along with 6 other states in the Midwest.
So the REC Foundation provides programs preschool through the collegiate level that are completely student run and provide educators with classroom and competition programs that fully align with the Common Core content standards and come with full lesson plans. So the idea behind all of the REC Foundation programs, which include VEX Robotics Competition, which is a middle school high school program, VEX IQ Robotics Competition, which is an elementary middle school program, the Aerial Drones Competition, which is a middle school, high school vertical drones competition, and then the Bell Advanced Vertical Robotics Competition, which is a high school varsity drones competition, is that students have the ability to design, create, and be part of an iterative process to produce robots that stay on the ground or fly in the air. And the idea is that every educator has the opportunity to coach a team because there's no engineering or let's just say technical mentor required because they're fully student-led programs. So if you have any questions, reach out.
Thank you, Brandy. And last but not least, we have Square One.
Great, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great, great. I'm Barb Land. I'm the executive director at the Square One Education Network. We are a Michigan-based nonprofit STEM education organization. We offer 5 different innovative vehicle design programs that are open to students from 3rd grade through 12th grade. They all have a varying level of difficulty and approachability. So they're a diverse portfolio of programs that are open to all different learning environments. My colleague, Jason Beatty, is on the line here. And so Jason and I are your Square One staff. Jason, anything else you would like to add?
No, we just love to have you jump on board. And if you're interested, get a hold of us with any questions you might have.
Thank you.
Great. Well, thank you all. I really appreciate you being here. It's awesome to have you all aboard. Let's go ahead and move on. This slideshow PowerPoint will be on our website as well so that you are able to access all the links that are also presented here today. All right, first we are going to talk about resources. Our biggest resource is going to be our techplan.org site, which houses all of our 99H robotics documents. Let's go ahead and go over that real quick. Again, the link will be in the spreadsheet, or I'm sorry, in the PowerPoint. Here you will find access links to all of the program providers' websites. Just some brief information on the grant. You will have access to the grant RFP, the assurances and certifications, a link out to Nexus's frequently asked questions, a link to information on our sketches. There's a Sigma help page for all of you non-pub folks out there. And then we also have a document that we're working on and adding to regarding frequently asked questions. So let's go ahead and talk about the grant purpose. The robotics competition grant supports Michigan's top 10 strategic education plan mission of supporting learning and learners by addressing all the guiding principles by offering districts the autonomy to choose the robotics program that best meets their needs. I also have a link down here that will link you out to Michigan's top 10 strategic education plan. This year, we have a whopping budget of $6,573,200. And that is broken out by public and non-public schools. For public, we have $5,973,200. And for non-public, we have $600,000. If anybody does have questions as we go, if you want to throw them in the chat, that would be great, or wait till the end of the beginning of this presentation before we start the Nexus walkthrough. Let's go ahead and talk about some key dates that we have. A few of these have occurred or are occurring. Our grant RFP was announced on September 8th. The TA webinar is being held today. October 1st is the application go live in Nexus. December 1st is the due date, so that gives you all 60 days to apply, and applications are due by 12 noon. And then the applications are held for 6 weeks for application review, and then grants will be announced February 1st, 2024. The program providers will receive notification, and I'm sure they will notify all of you, as well as the information will be posted on our techplan.org site. And then in March of 2024, awards will be made to public and non-public schools via SAMS or Sigma, depending on your district type. And just a disclaimer, all dates are subject to change at the discretion of MDE. So, eligible applicants, we have LEAs, PSAs, ISDs, and registered non-public schools. So non-public schools must be registered with the MDE prior to the application deadline. And then if you're not already registered, there is a link, which is included in the PowerPoint here, that will link you out to the information on how to get registered with the MDE. Grant requirements defined in statute. To be eligible for a grant, a district will demonstrate defined in statute that it has established a partnership with a business entity, higher education, institution, individual, or a technical school. You must submit a district cumulative budget in the Nexus application system, which we will go over here shortly. You must agree to pay 25% of the costs of the robotics competition program. And you must agree to submit a team roster as instructed by the department. Grant requirements proposed by staff. You must be registered for the current season with a robotics competition program provider of your choosing. You must have a current registered team number and coach in place for the season. Grant requirements require that you participate in a minimum of 1 robotics competition event or the qualifying number of events for advancement per the guidelines of the robotics competition program that you're working with. If you have any questions on the minimum requirements, you can reach out to your program provider. You must be willing to offer elective high school credits for students and be willing to participate in digital badging program established by the robotics competitive program provider. We do have just a few changes in the grant this year. We are welcoming a few new program providers, RoboFest and QuarkMine, which have introduced themselves. This isn't really new, but it is $1,500 for a coaching stipend per building, but we have increased the coaching stipend to $1,500 across the board for each team, which you can find those amounts listed in the grant RFP. And then also, we are going to require that you submit a team roster that I will work, our department will work on with the program providers to establish the criteria for that. And that will be announced mid-October. Let's go ahead and discuss the robotics grant structure. We will talk about the coaching stipend award, the support award, and advancement award. The coaching stipend award is for salary and purchase services only, which again, we'll go over when we go through the Nexus application. Stipends must be awarded to the coach or returned to the department. You should not be using stipend awards to support the team unless the coach donates the funds back to the team. And if that does happen, I would keep some sort of documentation showing that they have requested that you keep the stipend. And then the stipend support max award is $1,500 per building plus the district 25% match. So if we look at an example here for a purchase services or contracted coach, you would pay them the $1,500 stipend plus the $375 match, which is 25%, which equals $1,875. And for a district employee coach, it would be the $1,500 stipend, which you would pay directly to the employee, and $375 paid into FICA, which gives you the $1,875. The team support award is exactly like it says, it's to support the team. You can use the funds for such things as registration, events, materials, travel costs, food, and other expenses associated with supporting the robotics team. One note is the team support award is for the sole use of the team and program for which it is awarded. So if you have two separate teams and you're applying for funds for each individual team, you would not want to cross funding into the other team. It should support the team in which it was awarded. And if you have any questions on that, please feel free to let me know. And you can see all of the max award amounts listed in our RFP. Coach stipend and support awards, our payment schedule, all awards will be sent out March of 2024. Again, public schools will receive their funds via SAMs, and non-public schools will receive funding in with a Sigma payment. Depending on how you're set up, that would either be EFT or a check sent directly to your district. Advancement awards. We have not had advancement awards in the past couple of years because we have expended all of our funding, which is great. So that is contingent upon funding. If we do have funding for that, teams that qualify will be awarded in May of 2024, and program providers will supply us with a list of all teams that are advancing. The application process in Nexus. It is one application per district. The application does allow for multiple team submissions, so you would include all of your teams in one application, which again, we'll go over here in a moment. Each team must have a team and sponsor page and a district-wide budget. And you want to make sure that you include the stipend and support award for each team if applicable. Okay, before we begin the demo, do we have any questions? I wasn't able to see the chat. Let me take a look here.
Ashley, we have one question from Tracy that is asking, are we able to give a coach more than the $1,500 plus the 25% match?
The district, that is up to the discretion of the district. We only award the $1,500 and we require the 25% match. If the district decides to give the coach more funding than the $1,500 awarded, that is up to the coach, or I'm sorry, up to the district. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Let me go ahead and pull up the dashboard here. So upon logging in to my login and navigating to Nexus, this is your dashboard. And this is what you will see. You will see my opportunities and my tasks. My opportunities is a list of all opportunities provided to the district. They're opportunities that you are applicable to apply for. Once you start an application, you will see it listed under my tasks. So I did start an application earlier, and you can see that the opportunity is listed here. And then because I began it, you can see that it is also listed under tasks here. For demonstration purposes, we will go ahead and start a new application. When you start your application, unless you're a level 5 that is assigned to multiple districts, you will not see more than one district in your drop down. It will be specific to you and your district and the level that you are. So once we begin, this is the application. We're going to start on the cover page. On the cover page, there's general information. There's your entity information listed here. And then we do require at least one main contact person. And the contacts are listed here based on who is assigned to that district. So you'll choose one main contact. A secondary contact is optional. It is not required. So once you choose your contact, you'll go ahead and hit save. And as you can see here, once we hit save, there is a check mark in the box next to cover page that shows that we did review the page and that we did save it. And so we'll move on through each of the tabs on the side. Once the application goes live, the assurances and certifications will show here in the application. For right now, if you would like to review those are linked in the PowerPoint presentation on our techplan.org site. So when the application goes live, you will review and hit save. And then click on the next tab. You will review important information, which is a link to our techplan.org site with all of the information as discussed earlier. So we'll go ahead and hit save. And again, you can see as we go along and hit save, the form is saved and you can see a checkbox. Review grant selection. Here, it's very simple. All you have to do is check apply now and hit save. And until you do that, you will not see the remaining options here to move along the application. And now we get to our team and partnership information page. Here is where you're going to enter each team that you are applying for. We did change it a little bit this year. We have the program providers listed in the first drop down. So you'll go ahead and choose your program provider. And then based on the program provider, you'll have a list of programs that are associated with that provider. It's very important, or that we do ask that you have the RFP pulled up because we do have some features built in here that will help you to better apply this year, so that you don't apply for more than the max amount listed on the RFP. So if you have the RFP pulled up as you go along the application, it will greatly assist you. For demonstration purposes, we're going to go ahead and select First Robotics Rookie. And we'll go ahead and enter our team name, team number, the building associated with the team, and then your best guess on how many students will be participating on that team. You'll go ahead and enter the team coach information. And then the application will ask you if you're going to apply for a coaching stipend. And so I'm going to go ahead and select yes. Here you want to check that you agree to pay the 25% match. You'll check both checkboxes. And here for reporting purposes, we are asking if you will be offering either elective credits or digital badges to students. This is not required for the grant. Again, it's just for reporting purposes. So I'm going to check yes, and then I'm going to check both for this demonstration. And then you'll want to enter the sponsor information for the team that we are adding. And it is okay if your sponsor sponsors more than one team within your district to just enter all of their information in here. We have all of the different sponsor types listed in this dropdown. Once you enter all of the team information, you're going to go ahead and click Save. Once you click Save, if you do have more than one team, you'll go ahead and click Add. And it will bring up a new page for you. We do have some error checks built in that will let you know if you're missing any information. So I'm going to just press Save here. And you can see that any error that you could receive is listed here. And if you do have a lot of errors, as you can see on this page, you can click on the errors and it'll take you down to where the error is, and they'll also be highlighted in red, which all of these are because we didn't fill any of them in. Let me fill in a couple to give you a better example of what you may see. Again, if you have any questions as we go along, please feel free to put them in the chat. For this one, I am going to go ahead and click Coach Stipend of No. Again, check that I agree to provide the 25% match. This time I'm going to select No for offering elective credits or digital badges. And I'm just going to go ahead and click Save. You can see here that a lot of our error checks were resolved with the issue and that these boxes are no longer red. If we scroll down, we can see that we are missing some information, and you can see that the sponsor name is required, sponsor telephone number, and so on. And the corresponding boxes related to the error are highlighted in red. If we look over here into the left navigation pane, we can also see that there's an exclamation mark, which is indicating to us that the form does contain errors. So if we have multiple teams, we will go ahead and click on this box here that pops out the teams. And we can see here that the team Carbon does have some errors. So you would click here, which would navigate you back to the team page for Carbon. You would see the errors, and then you would go ahead and correct any errors. Let me go ahead and add this real quick here. And once we hit Save, it will clear those errors out and give us a check mark next to that team. So if we click that pop out here on the left-hand side, we can see that both teams have the correct information entered. We see that both teams have check marks. Once we are done entering all of our teams, we will move on to the budget summary page. Right now, the budget summary page will not have any of the budget listed because we haven't entered the actual line item yet, but there is some information on this page that we do have to enter. We do have to enter some contact information for the business office rep and the project contact person, and this is a required field. Do we have any questions while I'm filling this in?
Oh, we have lots of questions.
Okay. Sorry, for some reason I'm unable to see the chat box, so I do apologize about that.
That's okay. I'm gonna let you finish this part,
Okay.
and then I think that, I mean, there's enough different types of questions that I think we'll just save them for the end.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Thank you.
Sure.
So we'll go ahead and enter the contact information. And you will see that you will receive an error that the budget must not be 0. We're only receiving this error right now because we have not added any budget items. So we'll go ahead and navigate on the left-hand side to the Add Budget Item section. And this is where we're going to enter the budget for each team. And for each team, if applicable, you want to make sure that you enter a support award and a stipend. So we'll go ahead and walk through that. You can see here in the drop down that the teams that we have entered are listed. So you'll go ahead and select one of your teams. When you hit save, the robotics program type will be auto-generated, but this is not required to move throughout this page here. You'll go ahead and select your function code. And I'm going to enter support award first. If I can make a suggestion, this will, once we go over budget detail, it'll make a little more sense. I would enter your team name and team number at the beginning of the description box here, because it'll help you navigate when you're searching through your support and stipend awards. Again, we'll go over that here shortly. We ask that you do be as detailed as possible when providing your description. So we'll go ahead and enter our details, and we will scroll down and we'll enter supplies and materials. I'm going to go ahead and enter 10,000 here. And if we take a look at the top, we'll see that we received an error that we can not exceed the max support award amount listed on the RFP. So we'll refer back to our RFP and see what the max support award amount listed is. And we'll go ahead and update that. Make the change and then hit save. And we can see that that cleared out that error. For support award, the fields that we would want to use are purchase services, supplies and materials, and other. So you'll enter your amounts in one of these boxes down here. We hit save, so now we're going to go ahead and add. We'll add our stipend. We'll select our team again, select our function code, our use of funds, stipend. Again, I'm going to enter my team name with my team number and coach stipend. The max, again, for all coach stipends is $1,500. So I'm going to go ahead and enter $1,500 in salaries because the coach is an employee of the district. So I'll enter $1,500. Benefits is 0 because the $1,500 is going to go directly to the coach. And then down here, we're going to enter the FTE of 1. And hit save. If you were contracting out a coach from a different service, you would use purchase services here, and then you would not have to include the FTE. So I'm going to go back to the budget summary here, and I know we've only entered one team. I'm just going to move along here for a moment. Sorry, my system seems to be going a little slow today. I apologize. Okay. We're still receiving this error up here because we have not resaved our our document after navigating back to this page, but you can see the basic layout for this team of the $9,000 for the support award that we're applying for and the $1,500 for the stipend. Because we won't be able to submit the application until we clear out all of the errors, we're going to want to go ahead and hit save on this page. And then we'll go ahead and move on to the budget detail page. The budget detail page is very helpful. We do have a few new sorting options this year. There currently is an option to sort by team number, which there was an error in the coding, so they're working in to push the new file into production. And then you can also sort it by use of funds. So you can sort it by stipend or support award. We'll look at stipend. And then we can see here that it filters out the support award and just lists the stipend here. And if you remember back when we were entering the team information page, I suggested that you add the team name and the team number. That is because you can see that here in the description. So especially if you have multiple teams, it's very handy to see exactly which team numbers you're looking at when you sort it by stipend or support award. Because unfortunately, in these results here at the top menu, we weren't able to include the actual team number for you to see here. And if you do have to go back to make any changes to this entry, you could click directly on the description and it'll take you back to that budget item page. And I'm going to go back to, now that I'm back here, I'm going to add one more option, or I'm sorry, one more entry. I'm going to enter this for carbon, and I'm just going to enter a support award because we chose not to apply for a stipend for this particular team. So you will choose your budget line item, use of funds. Again, I'm going to enter the team name and the team number, and support award details. Again, please try and be as specific as possible. This one. Okay, and hit save. Again, we can navigate back to our budget detail page. And now we can see that we have support awards for Red Dragons and for Carbon. And then we do have one stipend for the Red Dragons. Again, you can sort this out by stipend or support award. And then we're currently working on updating the program so that we can sort by team number. And this should be live when the application goes live on October 1st. As of right now, I do apologize, it's not working. Okay, and there's no attachments required to submit your application. Once you are done adding everything in, you can scroll down here on the left-hand side and submit application. Oh, it looks like we have an error, so we can go ahead and click on that, and it'll take us back to the budget summary. Hmm. I do apologize. I tested this earlier and the document was able to submit. There we go. You can enter any notes upon submitting if you would like, but they are not required. And then you will just certify by clicking OK that you are ready to submit the application. And then this.
I'm fighting with my Bluetooth because trying to listen to the.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you go ahead and mute yourself? Thank you. And we will see that the status did change to application submitted. If for some reason you do have to amend your application or make any changes, you would have to contact the department to have them change the status of your application to modifications required. Then you can make any changes, and then you'll want to be sure to submit the application again, and always check this the status here to make sure that it is submitted. So let's go ahead and answer some questions here. Let me bring up the chat. Oops. Apologize, just a moment.
Ashley, whenever you're ready for questions, I have them pulled together in a document.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Gina.
Yep.
Do you want to go ahead and read the questions, or you can go ahead and
Yes.
send that over to me? Okay, thank you.
Sure. So Rebecca asks, if a district is applying for a high school team, can the ISD apply for an elementary team in that same district?
It depends on how your level 5 is set up and the permissions that they have. If they have permissions to access that district's application, they can apply. You'll want to double check on that to make sure. If they do have any questions on that, in the team and partner information page, any buildings that the team, or I'm sorry, that the district is associated with will be listed in the drop down. Apologize, just a moment here. So you would see that district, or I'm sorry, that building listed here. If the building is listed in the building team is associated with Dropbox, then the person applying can apply for that building. Does that answer the question?
Ashley, are they asking that question to avoid the $1,500 stipend limit based on a single building, or that they have elementary teams that they're thinking they can't apply for when a district can apply for as many as they want?
Gina, did they state the reasoning behind the question?
They didn't. I think my first question was, why wouldn't the district apply for both? But,
right.
You know, I'm the newbie here, so.
Yeah. So when the district applies, again, they will see all of the buildings that are associated with that district. And so you would have to select the building that say if it was a kindergarten class, that the kindergarten class is associated with. So if they're in the Dudley School building, you would want to select that building. But you can apply for multiple teams within multiple buildings. But you can only apply for one stipend per building, if that helps.
But they can be split between the different teams. There's no rule that says you can't split the 1,500 among all the teams.
Right. So to clarify even further, the coaching stipend is $1,500 per building, but that can be split at the discretion of the district. So the district can choose to split that $1,500 up between multiple coaches, or they can choose to give it to one coach. Here at MDE, all we can do is award the $1,500. how the district decides to split that or distribute that is up to them, as long as it does go to a coach. Okay, next
Okay,
question.
next question.
Yes.
Okay. Can our high school team be a sponsor for our junior high and elementary teams? Brian asked that question.
They would not be able to. A sponsor would be a business or a nonprofit, higher education institute, individual or technical school.
Okay, Mark wanted to know a little more, I guess, if you could repeat the information on the sponsor types again, because the question came in, can the sponsor be the school?
Can the sponsor, so as far as the 25% match?
I believe so. If that's different,
Yeah.
Mark, feel free to chime in here.
Yeah, Mark, go ahead and chime in, but the 25% match can either come from the sponsor or it can come directly from the district itself.
Okay, let's see. Leah asked, is it possible to increase the character count for the sponsor emails? They are often longer than 50 characters. I don't know what that's in reference to. I missed that.
Yeah, let me go ahead. If we've ran into that problem last year and you think it'll be a problem again this year, let me go ahead and submit a request to have the email address characters lengthened for the sponsor type. Thank you for that suggestion.
Another question came, and this similar question from several people, but Karen brought it up first. She has 127 teams in her district and wanted to know if there's any way they could upload an Excel spreadsheet that is formatted to meet the fields required, because it takes hours to do. And I
Right.
understand that.
Yes, I do understand the frustration with that. Unfortunately, at this time, there is no way to upload a spreadsheet. I know that we were able to do that with Megs Plus in the past, but as of right now, we do not have that availability within Nexus.
Robin asked if you could please clarify the 25% match on the stipend. It says your sample shows $1,500 plus $375 equals $1,875, but then there was FICA, employer FICA cost is only $114.75, not $375. I think she wanted some clarification around that.
Okay, yes, no problem. That was just used as an example. So the $1,500 is required to be given to the coach, and the district is responsible for $375. And the district is able to decide if they want to give that directly to the coach, if they want to put that towards benefits or salaries or I'm sorry, benefits or FICA or anything like that. It is just required that the district does contribute the 25%, which would be the $375. There is no requirement as to where that specifically has to go.
And Robin also wanted to double check, does the retirement that we pay on the stipend count as part of our 25% match?
That would be included with benefits. So yes, you could apply that towards retirement costs.
Okay. Oh, can you go over those sponsors one last time?
Sponsor types, yes, no problem. Again, you will see them all in the drop down here, and they are listed on the RFP. We just have a couple of options. It can be a business or nonprofit, a higher education institute, it could be an individual, or it can be a technical school. And if you do have any direct questions, you can always reach out to us here at MDE and we can help us solve any questions or issues that you're running into as far as the sponsored type.
And then Catherine mentioned in the chat, she's not a level 5. That I believe that's something that's done within their district, correct?
Correct. If you are not a level 5, you will want to get with your district to submit an application to become a level 5. If you're not a level 5, you can have the level 5 within your district initiate the application, and they can assign the application to the level 4. The level 4 can then go in and make all of the changes, but then the level 5 would have to be the person to submit the actual application once it's complete.
Right, because typically level 5s are superintendents and business managers, just so I think there's an idea of who those people are in the district. Must a team have a sponsor, Melissa asks?
Yes, you are part of the requirements of the grant are that you do have a sponsor of one of the sponsor types listed that will contribute to the 25% match, which also can be local in-kind matches. It doesn't have to be cash. So they can, you could have a technical school come in and lend their time to the team and just show them a few basic things about robotics or programming or something like that. It doesn't have to be a cash 25% match.
Awesome. I think the last question was how soon will the PowerPoint be on Tech Plan?
I will go ahead and upload the PowerPoint as soon as we're done with the presentation. Again, you can find that on Tech Plan, and it will have all of the links linked out so that you are able to access all of the information. And
Right.
the recording will be available at the end of the week. It does have to go through some ADA guidelines before it can be uploaded to the website. So there's just a few other things I have to do before I can upload that.
Great. And I did put in the chat that all questions can be sent to the mde-edtech@michigan.gov email. I think that if there's any other questions, I think we've gotten all of them. And thank you for all of the participants, because you guys have been answering questions probably a lot of times quicker than I have, because I'm doing about 4 things back here.
Oh, yes, thank you. Do we have any other questions popping in? There we go. I was able to pull the chat up.
Nothing that I see popping in right now.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead. Sorry, I'm trying to stop sharing. There we go. Well, I'm going to go ahead then. If there's no further questions, I am going to go ahead and stop the recording, and I will remain on the line for a while if anybody does want to stay on and has any questions. And I'm not sure if the program providers will stay on. If they do, we can direct any questions that you may have towards them.